Well, howdy, howdy, howdy. Nearly Senior Citizen here. Greetings, boys and girls, and welcome to this. A brand new day. A brand new day. My hand is itchy. Huh. Day isn't that different from other days, is it? But it is 5:26 a.m. Friday, the 10th of February. And I took, just a tiny bit ago, a diuretic. Because when I woke up, my feet had retained enough fluid that they hurt to wear my shoes. Uh-oh. So I went and took a diuretic tablet to get rid of some excess fluid. So anytime now, I'm going to start having to dash and drain a whole bunch of fluid out of the system. Which is to say, I'm going to have to pee a lot. I should have taken my other kidney medication. Oh well. So, and yesterday was pretty exciting. I had my computer up and running. We were watching, I was showing them Alien Isolation, and then suddenly my monitor went black. And couldn't figure out how to make it not go black. And ended up turning off the computer, turned it back on, called up the device manager and went, oh! Because I wanted to see if my video card had any problems with it. The device manager couldn't even find the video card. Uh-oh. So I luckily have HDMI capabilities. I plugged in an HDMI cable into the back of the computer and into the monitor, and it started working with the HDMI output. But I was going, what the heck? Why? Oh. But I turned it off, let it wait a bit, turned it back on. This monitor, the display that I'm using right now is HDMI, but if I hit the button on the monitor and then switch things around, that was a horrible sound my dentures made. It smelled like a farting noise. But because oh boy, that blew my train of thought out of my head too. Train of thought, dead monitor. Yes, so it's the R9 is working. I have another desktop display if I hit the button on the bottom of my monitor, so it tells me all the various inputs coming in, switch to the input type, and then hit the go to it button, and then it will switch to that display type. I have my R9 there working. It's got a desktop display that's going, so at least it's alive. I don't know what's going on. I would have normally figured that it was too filled with dust, except I blow out the dust on this thing like every 2 months. 3 months at the max, because oh my god, there's so much dust in this place, it's insane. Only a month ago I blew the dust out of that and it was pretty choked. So it's not the dust, I would think. But I don't know, because it's back, it's not dead, but it died for a little while? I don't know, I gotta take it apart. I don't have an air compressor right now, which is very frustrating. My nephew took his air compressor back. I don't have an air compressor. I need to either get my vacuum cleaner, a Kirby, out of storage, because you can flip stuff around and then it blows air outward, and it cooks as a good air compressor that way, but it's still just a vacuum cleaner that works as an air compressor. A damn good air compressor, but still. So I don't know what's wrong. The video card could be dying. Yay. So I don't know what's going to happen. Luckily though, I mean, my computer motherboard itself has like a busload of onboard. Oh, well, that's special. It's 5:30. That was my alarm saying it's 5:30. In case I hadn't woken up on my own by this time. But I had. As evidenced by the fact that that thing went off while I was talking. That really blew everything out of my head, though. Holy smokes. Because I've been up since 5 o'clock, and now it's 5:30, and the alarm blew everything out of my head that I was talking about. Literally. Oh, that hurts. Well, so I'm just going to have to skip that, because whatever I was talking about is gone. And trust me, don't get fibromyalgia. You don't have a choice. It's apparently genetic. It's one of those autoimmune things So I've got fibro, and I have to live with fibro fog all the time. Where what just happened there, where I just lost my train of thought because the sound there that happened, that is my life. That's constant all the time. All the time. I can be talking, something happens, then bam, because it derailed my train of thought. The track I was on is gone. Doesn't matter how well constructed the train of thought was, it's gone. And this huge flaming crash. So, let's see if there's anything I can remember that I wanted to talk about. Well, one thing I did want to show everybody is good old. He's not so much old. He's mellowed out now. This is Pat Nervous. I wanted to show. I like to show off all my hammies because they're such little cuties. This is Pat Nervous. So called because he's a very nervous individual. He's mellowed out some. He used to be very nervous, but he's mellower now. He's a sweetheart, an absolute sweetie now. But he used to get so nervous that I would reach into the cage and he would get scared. I'd reach in like this, and then he would just look up, and then he would bite because he was startled. And so he would bite me. And he didn't do it because he was being mean. He was just startled. He was very nervous. And so I call him Pat Nervous, of course, because in the 1980s, Pat Benatar came out with an album called Get Nervous. So because he's nervous, obviously he's Pat Nervous from Pat Benatar. Just like the hamster Don Draper is named after the actor Don Draper. He's the only hamster I've ever named after an actual person. But he's just, even though he's a hamster, he's a very Don Draper-ish type of hamster. What does that mean? Does he wear suits? Does he act? Does he drink alcohol? Does he smoke cigarettes? Well, no. He's still just a hamster. And this little guy is Mr. Nervous. Hello, Mr. Nervous. I think I had to trim his claws, too. Because they were getting way too long. He was just sliding, so I had to trim his claws. So now his claws are like in that period where they're too short instead of being just right. But he's a good little guy. He's an absolute little sweetheart. He's got that bare patch back there because right now my cages, all the cages, the wheels are too small to run in. And so rather than take them out, because they don't run in the wheels, they're too small, they'll hurt themselves. What they do is they run on top of the wheels. So they wedge themselves, they get on top of the wheel, and then they fall backward so that this part of them is resting against the cage. And then they run on top of the wheel. Their little feet, their little back feet move as they run, and their front feet, they reach up and they grab, and the wheel spins underneath them as they run. So they get caught up here on top of it, and the wheel spins underneath them. And it really works. The only bad thing is that makes me feel bad is it rubs off fur on there, right there. That's where he rests against the cage. Everyone just wants to walk toward me. They don't like walking and being towards the external parts. They like to be more here so that they're not out there. Even though hamsters are functionally blind, they don't see like we do. We have rods and cones in our eyes so that we can see colors and all that with the, I think it's the rods that see colors, and then the cones see shadow, light, and dark. Then the rods see everything else. Hamsters just have the cones. They see shadows, they see light and dark. They don't see us as what we see. It's like the hamsters live in perpetual night because they don't have that detail from their eyes. They live through their noses and their tongues. That's why they bite things all the time, because they nibble to see what it tastes like. They nibble to see if it yields, if it's solid. That's just, they experience the world through their mouths. I'm feeling sick to my stomach. Ugh. I hate that. My stomach is empty, and so I feel sick to my stomach. Which some days I feel sick to my stomach after I eat. Like yesterday. Oh, Christ. Am I going to have to puke? Ugh. Very unpleasant. Here we see my life again as I try to figure out whether I'm going to puke or not. Well, what I'm going to do is call up the community page while I'm waiting to see. And I'm going to thank 20 to 25 people, because that should help keep me distracted. I'm hitting show more to load up a whole bunch, because I want to have, a whole bunch of people to choose from to talk about. I'm going to choose people at random. Just my eyes randomly skimming up and down the page as I scroll. I'm going to stop at names and thank the people who leave the comments. I'm not reading the comments right now. I'm going to read the comments, but I'm just thanking you for leaving a comment. I'm not actually reading the comment. It could be a good comment. It could be a bad comment. It could be an indifferent comment. I don't mind, and at this point, I don't really care. It's like YouTube. YouTube wants us, you and me, to interact. They don't care if you hit down the thumbs down and leave me negative comments. That is just, in their eyes, as valid as leaving me a thumbs up and saying you're a good guy. It's interaction that they're looking at. They don't care what the interaction is. They only care that we're interacting. So somebody who's having a pleasant conversation with their commenters is looked at just as validly as somebody who's going, you miserable slime, and they're coming back with, oh, you horrible person, and everybody's fighting in the comments. YouTube says, hey, that's just as good as over here where they're nice and happy and friendly. Now, I like the fact that I have a nice and friendly comment section. I am so proud of all of you people here. Yes, there are trolls. Yes, there are people who don't know and fire off weird comments because they don't know. That happens. On the most part, the comment section is wonderful, and I love that. Thank you so much. So many comments are just festering cesspools, and yet I think I've got a real good comment section. I've had people ask questions, you people help, and that's awesome. Thank you so much. But, like, Tank Butt, thank you so very, very much. Ooh, burp. Hey, at least I'm burping, and that's a good thing. That means I'm not going to puke. And Patrick Dolph, thank you so very, very much. Delta Sadberry, I like that name. Thank you so very, very much. Max Kanzig, thank you. Greatly appreciated. And then there is Young Lovell, Lovell, thank you. Greatly appreciated. And Jesus Lover 22, thank you. Greatly appreciated. And then there is Kiel Postma, Kjell, and then Postma, it'd be like postman, except take the N off. But thank you very, very much. And then there is Charles Gill, thank you, greatly, greatly appreciated. And then keep on looking, and Chris Smithy Boy, thank you. It is a good thing. And then there's also Kiana Holt, thank you, greatly appreciated. And Child of God and Light, amen, thank you. Greatly, greatly appreciated. Frostbite 0208, thank you. And then there's Tastes Like Dirt. Oh my, that's interesting. Holy smokes. It makes me wonder, is there parts of your anatomy that taste like dirt, or is you talking about the food you eat? Interesting. And then there is the Krita Gamer. Thank you very, very much. Greatly appreciated. Let's see, that was 15. So then there's 16. CJ Bosch. Thank you very, very much. Uh-oh, page froze. Give my system. And then there is Song Gain Lover. Oh, well, very cool. I hope I pronounced that even halfway close. Thank you very, very much. And SAOWR Gaming Sour. That's about what I would say. Thank you very, very much. Greatly appreciated. Femo, FEMO. Thank you. So Prismo is a dream. How weird. I haven't watched anything past episodes, season 6 of Adventure Time. I don't know why I brought that up. Your name wasn't Prismo. Sorry about that. And then Sean Wacek, W-A-C-E-K, thank you so very much. And then there is, Vicious Oz gets another shout out. Very, very cool. With Fresh Gauntlet, thank you so very, very much. Greatly appreciated. And Pengu, was that 2 and then 3? I hope so. My brain is such that I might have done 2 3s now. So then the Gaming Chicken, thank you so very much. And then last name would be Will Shackelford. Thank you so very, very much for commenting. Greatly, greatly appreciated. I thank you all so very much. It is awesome. I like to thank people because YouTube, you saved my life. That's why I do my morning vlog. That's why I do everything on YouTube. I was going to die after my wife died. I had given up on life. I had disconnected. I was drifting. I was doing nothing but sitting in a chair 18 hours a day and just waiting for the day to be over so I could fall asleep so it could be gone. And it finally terrified me because I realized I was going to be next. And I needed something to get me out of my head, back into life, and engaged so that I wasn't going to just be, after my mother died, my father died. I didn't want my kids to have to say that. And so I reached out and I grabbed hold of something, and it was YouTube. And I'm still alive. 2 years and some later, I'm still here. And thank you all for that. Thank you. It is incredible. I am never, ever, ever, ever going to forget the fact that it's you that saved my life. Thumbs up for that. Thank you all so much. 16 minutes and change, so I'm just going to say bon dia, dia guit, dia deet, dia... No, I already said dia guit, dia deet. Bari Loose, Bokertov, Buna Dimineata, Bonjourno, Bonjour, Labas Ritas, my brain, Labas Ritas, Labdien, Mesa Olheli, Merhaba, and of course go forth and have the crack. Good food, good drink, good friends. Very good thing. Thumbs up on that. So if you could, visit some links down there. Yes, I am moving. We got that house yesterday we filled out paperwork. We've done deposits. We have power put on in her name. We're doing all the things this upcoming Tuesday. We are going into the place. We are going to be given the walkthrough. They're going to sign the leases, hand over the keys, and then we're going to start renting. So we've paid part of the deposits. Power's on. It's on the way. I'm getting out of here. Perfecto. So cool. Very, very good. Now, I was saying, because I'm moving, yes, I still have money, but you never know. Moving is expensive. So if you could visit down there, my GoFundMe is still open. That would be awesome. The rest of it, thank you so very much for all that you have done. Thank you so much. Now, I also want to say, if you could toss me a like, that would be awesome. I do prefer valid... God, why do my brain do that? Why do my brain do that? Oh, good Lord. I can't even speak English. Why do my brain do that? Why does my brain do that? I do prefer positive validation for my existence. I see, why does it say, I prefer valid? What? Derailing there when it's I prefer positive validation for my existence. And also, if you could subscribe, but only if you're down with it. Pity subscriptions, not needed or wanted. Not good for you, not good for me, not good for anybody. But if you're down for it, then hey, I hope to keep you forever and ever. That's a very good thing. I hope to keep you entertained forever and ever and ever. So thumbs up on that. You have a great day. I'm going to get started on a reaction video. Am I going to have Resident Evil 7 today? Not sure. Probably. So you take care. Have a great day. I'll see you on the flip side. And that, my friend, is a very good thing. So thumbs up. I just let these things ramble. I don't know how to end them. So. Oh, did you hear?